How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. So, last time, we did some more cross-examining with Ashley Graydon. And we also learned...
bastard.
We also learned some more about what happened on the night of the crime, as well as what happened with McGilded's whole deal with his trial and murder. And I figure, like, we're only going to figure out even more as this case goes on. We still have one more part left of this court segment, so we still have a decent amount to uncover. But yeah, so we'll just continue on. And we're going to have a report within half an hour, apparently. So that's cool.
Oh god.
I think perhaps we should recess for a short while until the evidence is brought forth. To be hoodwinked by such a farce. Disappointing. I beg your pardon, Lord Von Zeeks. Why are you even speaking? This is nothing but a smokescreen. A Nipponese specialty, it would seem. What are you trying to say? My learned friend has persisted with the same line of reasoning from the very beginning. That this witness's intent was to steal an article belonging to Mr. McGilded from the pawnbrokery. Yet common sense tells us that none of the articles have value enough to be worth stealing in the first place. It doesn't have value in that sense, you idiot. We're talking about information and, like, you know, it has a history. Not, it's worth so much money. Exactly. It would be beyond absurd to break into a place for the purpose of stealing such commonplace property. I don't know where I got this glass from, but I'm taking a drink.
Delicious.
If your lordship recalls, Mr. McGilded perished 2 months ago immediately after the conclusion of this trial, and, it was pretty funny. A trial in which he was found not guilty. A trial in which it was established that he was the upstanding member of society his reputation implied, in fact. So I propose a toast to my learned friend and his most insightful defense. The article of this upstanding member of society pawned were entirely ordinary. A black overcoat that just happened to have a music box disc in one of his pockets in a small box. I assure you, I wouldn't accept even if the man tried to make a gift of such things to me. I'm a good guy.
No, you're not.
You know, that does make a rather lot of sense. Yeah, it's not if it was gold or jewels, is it? Oh, goodness knows Mr. McGilded was rich enough.
But you can't oppose that cash at pawnbrokery, of course, instead of that blah.
Mouse. The prosecution's argument is undeniably compelling. I'm so good at my job. It is incumbent to come on the defense now to bolster its argument. You want a what?
You want a what?
To explain what possible significance these commonplace articles pawned by this fine citizen could have. No. Well, counsel, is your argument in fact demonstrable? Demonstrable. Yeah. Are you able to show proof that the disc of the box and intangible ray related to this fucking case? Well, let me think.
What's the matter, Runo?
I'm gonna freaking lose.
We know that they're related, aren't we? They're both... They're both vital pieces of evidence.
Yes, of course. You and I both know that. We know McGilded's true character, and we know the disc is significant, even if we don't know why. But if we explain all that to the court at this point, we'll have to acknowledge that Mr. McGilded acquittal 2 months ago was a mistake. That the defense's argument was flawed, based on false information.
I know!
And that would mean admitting that Gina committed perjury.
But Ginny...
What about Ginny?
Could it be that Von Zeeks knows? Is that why he's doing this now? Because he anticipated everything?
But maybe... This could be a great opportunity for us.
Sorry? What do you mean, Iris?
Well, what is it that you always say, Runo? Sooner or later, the truth comes out. Every time.
Alright, the exact significance of the things that McGilded deposited with Mr. Windibank is something that only Gina can explain to the court. But if I put her on the stand to testify about that, it could critically damage our chances of winning this case. What's the right thing to do here? leave it.
Yeah, let her fucking drown.
My lord, the defense would like to make a proposal. Oh, I'm not listening. What proposal? While the court awaits the arrival of Mr. McGilded's small box, I would like to call the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, to the witness stand. The defendant? To what end? It's to do with the various articles deposited at Windibanks by Mr. McGilded, my lord. Miss Lestrade has information relating to them. I believe it would be beneficial for the court to hear what she has to say. It will prove the significance of the articles in question once and for all. Well, well, things are becoming interesting. I presume you consider the implications of the testimony you're proposing. In particular, the impact it will have on the accused standing, and indeed your own. I have. Lord von Zeeks, would you care to explain that last remark? The prosecution accepts the defense's proposal. I move to interrupt the cross-examination of the current witness and hear from the accused herself. Okay.
Why would you do that?
I will if you have no objection. So, the court will now hear the testimony of the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. You witnesses currently in the stand may step down until further notice. Hell yes.
Go away. I mean, don't go away. Go to jail.
Then I shall bid you good day. Where's my hat? Wait. Oh? He's gonna make him stay. You, sir, shall remain in the stand while Miss Lestrade testifies. As you wish. You fuckhead. Alright then, Gina. It's time. I know this will be hard, but please, put your faith in me here.
Good luck, Runo.
I don't need luck. Why am I still here? The articles that Mr. McGilded had deposited in Miss Windibank's butthole
Good one.
are intimately related with the omnibus case, the trial of which was heard in this courtroom 2 months ago. Yes, I remember this young lady being brought before me in that trial as well. That's right, my lord. Her testimony helped you to establish the innocence of the defendant, Mr. McGilded. I definitely said innocent and not innocence, or whatever.
In a sense.
The omnibus case was intriguing, to say the least. And now, here we all are again. Same players in that trial facing each other once more. Happy 2 months. A twist of fate, perhaps, my Nipponese friend. Allow me to recap the events of 2 months ago. An old brickmaker was stabbed to death in an omnibus running along London winter streets.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Apart from the victim, there was only one other person in the carriage, Mr. McGilded. Naturally, he was the prime suspect for the murder, and definitely did it. But as the trial progressed, another possibility emerged. That the murder, in fact, took place above the defendant's head on the roof deck, with the body then being dropped through the skylight into the carriage below. It was Miss Lestrade whose testimony brought that possibility to light. At the time of the incident, Miss Lestrade was concealed under a seat in the carriage, hoping to pick the pockets of unsuspecting passengers.
Pick the pockets of passengers.
Then immediately after the trial, having been acquitted of the murder, McGilded died in this very courtroom in the most extraordinary of circumstances.
That's what you think, but we never saw the body, so he's probably still alive.
A mystery that remains unsolved even now, 2 months on. As indeed does the omnibus murder itself. Be that as it may, I recall neither the disc nor the small box being mentioned in the course of those proceedings. Miss Lestrade,
What?
would you tell the court now, please? What really happened in the omnibus 2 months ago? I mean,
No. I don't know what you mean.
yes, that's exactly what I wanted her to say.
Shut the hell up. I already said of all where the fuck all of what I know. The screen glitched the fuck out on my end as soon as I was trying to read that.
Your Honor, she doesn't know how to speak. So
There's a lot of pixels on the screen.
just please make Miss Lestrade leave so I can also go home. And what about everything you told us yesterday from inside your prison cell? Dummy. Please, Miss Lestrade. This is extremely important. Please!
Please.
But...
Remember, McGilded is dead. Little girl.
Oh, awesome.
If it transpires that you willfully withheld information from the trial 2 months ago, the Home Office will seek to prosecute you for perjury. So in other words,
don't
you
even know
should
what that
just
is.
remain silent. You should just remain silent here. Wait, I thought I could get away with lying in the courthouse.
You're telling me I can't lie?
Naturally, you will lose all credibility as a witness. Damn. Although, let's face facts. You have little credibility to lose. Nobody
Well,
fucking
listen here,
likes
you
you.
asshole.
You're right, nobody trusts her.
Ginny, don't listen to him. Please, you have to trust Runo now.
No, listen to me.
Iris?
We're on your side.
Are we?
I don't... What the fuck are you talking about? Alright then. I'll talk.
It's the right choice, Gina. Not the left.
Shut the fuck up!
Well, it would seem my learned friend is a fucking moron. He is hell-bent on bringing the entire courtroom down about his ears. So be it. This should be fucking good.
Your ears now.
I must confess that I'm struggling to understand what on earth is happening here. However, it would appear that Mr. McGilded's pawned articles in an extraordinary case of the omnibus have a sequence of which we have been hitherto unaware. Stop looking at me.
What?
So, Miss Lestrade, you will now give your testimony before the court on events of 2 months ago. You will reveal the truth, a commodity sorely lacking in your original statements, you little dickhead. This is it then. Everything's going to come out. Like Von Zeke said. This could bring the whole courtroom down about my ears. But as a lawyer, I'm prepared to take that risk. Alright, Jay, it's time for you to discover the truth. I don't even remember what the fucking
scared.
truth was, so...
Yeah, right? I bet you it's gonna make me fucking mad no matter what it is because it's an Ace Attorney game.
Hell yeah. The real truth of the omnibus case. Alright, what really happened?
Truth is, that Brickmaker Cove was in the cabin the omnibus the whole time. When the Irishman dragged me out from under the seat, I saw that disc on the floor. All of a sudden, I heard a scream from over my head, and a pair of roof deck went off the golden slabs. That's when McGilded slipped the driver some tin to do a run on the pawn shop roundabout. He threatened me not to snitch, not to say nothing to no one what I'd seen or heard.
Wow, that's funny.
It's not.
Good grief, this is outrageous. What you just told the court bears almost no resemblance to your testimony 2 months ago.
I was lying, you idiot.
Oh yes, I win. As you say,
shit.
my lord.
I was telling the truth.
Then there's every chance that you're lying. I
No.
may have educated an error in McGilded's trial. It sounds very much to me as if the man deliberately deceived this court, in an effort to cover up the most wicked of schemes. Without doubt, your lordship is correct. A great injustice was done in this courtroom 2 months ago. The actions of the accused in that trial, of this witness, and of my learned friend are entirely inexcusable.
Your
What do you-
face is
he's doing-
inexcusable.
I mean, realistically, he's doing his job. He's a lawyer. That's what you're
Right?
hired to do.
But apparently it's inexcusable.
I don't believe it. The whole trial was bought, I'm no light. Yeah, McGilded fellow was surrounded the court. What a dickhead, just like the pickpocket killer.
Wow, it's like you're just finding that out now? You're wrong. The lawyer, Mr. Naruhodo, the lawyer there, he didn't know nothing about it.
Humbug. Hum-diddly-um.
I don't think so. Are we really expected to believe that?
Okay, you were literally on the jury in that trial 2 months ago. I don't even think you should be a juror.
Right? You shouldn't be here.
He really stitched everyone up, didn't he? What an operation to get the man off scot-free. Well, I wanted to get him off.
Unforgivable, stop.
The lies have to stop. Stop.
Shut the hell up. Yes, the defense made a terrible error of judgment, and I should probably go to jail or lose my badge or something. I intend to take full responsibility and suffer whatever consequences are deemed appropriate. However, it's imperative that the court allows the witness to elaborate on her testimony, because the true significance of McGilded's pawn articles must be brought to light. No. Very well, my learned student friend. Given the depths of calamity you've just plunged yourself into, this may well be worth hearing. Words fail me. The situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, my lord. I will decide upon your fate allowing the conclusion of this trial. Of course, my lord.
Blimey, Mr. Naruhodo.
Shit. Now, counsel, proceed with the cross-examination. Now. Why are you facing away? What's wrong? You
I
want me
don't
to
know.
look at you? Freaking Ashton or Ashley Graydon over there?
Hold it!
His back turned. You were hiding in the cabin at the time as well, weren't you, Miss Lestrade? If I remember rightly, in the storage compartment underneath one of the seats.
Yeah, that's right. It's pitch black under there, so you can't see nothing at all.
What are you two doing?
You guys look so fucking shady.
Now, in your testimony 2 months ago, I feel certain that you claimed Mr. McGilded was the sole passenger, did you not? False testimony, my lord.
That's what he told me I had to say. It did not load.
But it's important that you tell us the truth now. Were Mr. McGilded and the victim acquaintances?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
But I did hear him talking a lot.
Alright, this is starting to piss me off.
Excuse me.
Is there something you'd like to share with the court, Inspector Gregson and Mr. Graydon? Inspector, Mr. Graydon. Wow. Blimey, you trying to give me a heart attack? You have been whispering to each other for quite some time now. Tell us, what is the discussion about? Discussion? With this fella? Pull the other one, sunshine. You think I've got anything to talk about with a shady gent like this?
You were literally just doing it.
I have nothing to say to this uncouth detective after he deprived me of that disc that was rightfully mine. But they've clearly been talking the entire time I've been cross-examining Gina. It's as if they've been negotiating.
Do you young boys have something you'd like to share with the class?
We will kindly refrain from talking amongst yourselves while the witnesses give a testimony. Yes, sir. Sorry, my lord. What
Yeah,
were
so
those
shut
two
the
talking
fuck
about?
up.
Miss Lestrade, continue with your testimony, please.
Right, as I was rudely interrupted. Fucking assholes.
Hold it!
Was the disc you saw this disc?
Yeah, I reckon it probably was. It was right next to the cove lying on the floor.
Could this disc have belonged to the victim, perhaps?
I don't know, but McGilded picked it up pretty smartish.
Pretty dumbish.
And then he sat at the cove with the knife in its belly up to his cat. I don't know why I have such a hard time reading a line when they start to put those like apostrophes and like
Yeah.
remove letters.
What did he say to you at that time?
He told me not to say a word about what he saw or heard to no one.
You mad that you can't converse?
About the disc and all.
I want to negotiate with the professor. Or
Shut the
detective,
fuck up with the professor.
with the
I was
inspector.
dead scared. The way he was looking at me, I thought if I didn't go along with it, I'd get stuck with that knife too.
I'm sure you could take him.
Oh yeah, you're probably right. He started asking me loads of questions. Like what my name was and where I lived and all that. He asked me about being a diver too.
But after a while, what had happened in the carriage was noticed.
Yeah, that's right. First there was a kind of rapping noise. Like this.
There were two gentlemen occupying the seats on the roof deck, I believe.
That's right.
Brr.
I must have looked through the skylight and noticed the cove with the knife in its guts. When they screamed, the diver pulled up the horses and McGilded got me out of sight.
And the omnibus exploded.
It was really funny.
Out of sight. Where?
back under the seat where I started off. Once the carriage came to a halt, the two covers from the roof ran to fetch the slops.
If they immediately left to fetch the police, it would appear they were entirely unrelated to the incident. So that left McGilded, the driver, and you still at the scene.
Yeah, only the driver didn't know I was there because I was under the seat. I had the cabin door open and a voice from outside.
The driver, yes. He also testified in the trial, I believe. He was really pissed that he couldn't get A fellow who went by the... Oh, wait, that's still the judge. A fellow who went by the name of
me.
If memory serves. Pay me more!
It's fucking freezing in here.
My eyes are frozen shut. What did McGilded and the driver say to each other?
I don't know what happened, and stuff like that mainly.
He just teleported into the omnibus
It's
with
just
a
what
knife in him.
happened.
That pawn shop obviously being Windibanks on Baker Street. Just a moment, counsel. Do you mean to tell me that the driver gave false testimony in that trial as well? Yeah, he lied about the money, first of all. Perhaps the excursion of the pawnbrokery slipped his mind when he was in the stand. Indeed, Lord Von Zeeks.
McGilded took off his coat and gave it to the driver. He folded it up, all careful like, before handing it over. When I saw him do that, I remember thinking, that coat and what's it? Oh, that coat and what's in it's got to be worth a few bob.
Yes, Gina was sure that the disc must be worth more than Mr. Windibank was suggesting, wasn't she? I remember her quibbling with him over the price that afternoon in the pawnbrokery.
The driver looked pretty happy when McGilded flashed some brass in his face. He went running off at a lick. Then the bog trotter called to me and told me to come out of the drug's cabin.
If you snitch, I will rip your hands off.
I'd like to see you try.
Threaten you how exactly?
Told me if I'd only been able to scarp her if I... Wait. I'd only be able to scarp her if I did exactly what he said. Or else I'll kill you, is what he said.
Which included giving false testimony in court 2 months ago.
Yeah,
God.
that's it. And there was one other thing he said.
Which was?
Fuck you.
Oh, sounds
He told
about
me
right.
I'd have to hang on to the ticket from the pawn shop and to make sure not to lose it.
The ticket? Well, I never.
Ow, my neck. What the fuck? Said that if I didn't show up to get the ticket off me before 2 months passed,
The tickle?
the tickle, I had to go to the pawn shop and pay the money to keep it in the log, stop it being forfeited. He left me with some brass to pay for it.
But really? Why on earth would Mr. McGilded have done such a thing? Depositing his overcoat with a pawnbroker before the arrival of the police. It makes no sense at all. There would seem to be only one logical explanation, my lord. What McGilded had the driver deposit at Windibanks was something he didn't want the police to see. Something very important that he needed to hide at all costs. Ugh.
Anyway, after that, he let me go. So I laid it back before the coppers showed up.
Interesting. Well done,
Wow.
Gina. It can't have been easy to tell the truth like that.
Ginny's really put her faith in you, Runa.
I know I'm a faithful guy.
Okay.
Yes, and to thank her. She'll have to face a charge of perjury once this trial's over. So I need to use the time we have now to get as much information out of her as possible.
It's time to really go for it. Press her on every statement.
I'll shoot her.
I got a gun.
And you were hiding in the cabin at the time as well? If I remember rightly, storage compartment.
Yeah, that's right. It's pitch black under there, so you can't see nothing at all.
Now, in your testimony 2 months ago, I feel certain that you claim Mr. McGilded was the sole passenger, did you not? False testimony, my lord. She lied.
That's what he told me to say.
But it's important that you tell us the truth now. Are McGilded and Mr. Victim? Mr. McGilded and the victim acquaintances? Are they buddies?
I don't fucking know. I don't know. But I did did hear them talking a lot. It was crazy.
What were they talking about?
Well, I can knit too well, but if I'd have to say... Well, I think it was about money or something. Money? Money or something! They kept talking about buying and not buying.
Perhaps business dealings of some kind.
Well, anyway, they got louder and louder. It started to sound like a proper fight.
McGilded. Money? Oh, man. No!
Money! Oh!
Jesus.
Oh my god. I could disconnect it now, but it'll be loud for a second, so hold on. Alright, let's hear the shit out of me. Alright. I was pretty scared by then. I hardly dared to breathe, and then all of a sudden, I heard a noise like someone keeling over on the floor. It was blooming loud and all.
No, I believe you let out an involuntary scream.
No, it was voluntary. Yeah. That's what gave me away.
Amateur.
Shut the fuck up, I'll kill you.
Thank you, Miss Lestrade. Thank you, Counsel. I've heard enough. I believe we now have a reasonable understanding as to what actually transpired on the omnibus. It would appear on that night 2 months ago, a negotiation was taking place on the omnibus. A negotiation concerning this disc. However, matters did not run smoothly. When the parties involved began to quarrel over price, McGilded took what he wanted by force, at the expense of the other man's life. Which proves my point. The disc is clearly extremely valuable in some way. Although I don't understand why as yet. And 2 days ago, precisely 2 months after the omnibus incident, McGilded's coat and contents were due to be forfeited.
I didn't know what I should do with the ticket. I mean, the cove died right after his trial, I knew that.
So you decided you would try to claim the articles as your own.
Well, why not, eh? They were only going to be forfeited, why should I have got them?
So why the hell does Graydon want them?
That's what I mean. Anyway, you can't blame me for thinking about it. Thinking ain't no crime.
Miss Lestrade, it would appear Mr. McGilded was prepared to
actually
kill
is.
in order to take possession of this disc. Do you know why that would be?
Huh? I ain't got a clue.
I probably do.
Shut the hell up. But I reckon it must be worth a fair bit of brass. He was probably going to sell it. And you can't blame me for thinking that. Thinking ain't no crime.
Gotta secure the bag. I respect it.
My lord.
Who the hell-
Lloyd.
Here it is, your lordship. Requester has been located and is ready for the court's inspection, sir. Oh man, I'm so glad I get to speak again. Where the fuck did I go? Help. I'm stuck.
The mysterious little box deposited by McGilded 2 months ago. There's no doubt in my mind that is a key piece of evidence in this very far fucking puzzle. I had one job. I failed.
So, like, can we, like, turn on the lights?
No.
I can't really present this evidence without being able to fucking see.
Alright, the final part of this game.
Dang.
Everything's gonna come together in this part.
Oh, look at that 3D render
Ah,
box.
the Elysian box.
So this is the article in question, is it? A small box deposited in the pawnbroker. In the pawnbroker? With by McGilded 2 months ago. And on the night of Mr. Windibank's murder, the only item on the shelves that was touched by whoever broke into the shop.
Quick, quick! Let's open it and see what's inside.
Oh?
Oh, it's stupid.
Good gracious, there's no ordinary box, it seems. Wow. Although in truth I had an inkling that it might be the case. It would appear that the box houses a miniature music box movement. Where's the disc?
You mad?
Then is it too much to expect? I think it would be reasonable to assume that it is the device for the playback of this disc, my lord. Let's do it. Play it.
Why are you all standing on like only the left side of the banister? Did you notice all the extra room
Yeah.
on the other side?
So here we have the means to play back Mr. McGilded's dick. Positive and Winterbergs that vouch at the same time. Not strictly correct, my lord. It was not McGilded's disc. It was the disc of his victim in the omnibus. But why, for heaven's sake? I wish to understand that the brickmaker was trying to sell this music box disc to Mr. McGilded. What is on it?
Hi.
I believe the answer will become clear if we listen to music on the disc, my lord. You know, the obvious thing that we should do. Yes, very well. Let the court now listen to this curious disc at last. Oh, Gregson.
That was
Wait,
a
my
very
lord.
interesting yell. I have never heard you speak up like that.
He sounds panicked. Good grief, what is the meaning of this, Inspector?
This music box and the disc are... they're unrelated to the case. No need to spoil the somber atmosphere of the courtroom with some silly bit of music. This disc may very well have motivated the culprit in this case to commit murder. Clearly there's every chance that it's fundamentally important to understanding what happened.
The prosecution has no objection.
But no! That piece of evidence is police property now. You can't...
You bitch.
Clearly Scotland Yard has some vested interest here. But it is policy of this prosecutor to leave no avenues unexplored. And you, Inspector, have no jurisdiction here to prevent that from happening.
Grr.
There is something on this disc that they
What
do not
is-
want us to
Yeah,
hear.
I'm like, what is on the disc?
No further delays, please. Play the disc. No.
It's like actually a disc admitting like Graydon's fucking like every crime in the world ever.
It makes everybody go insane.
It's Cosmo's theme.
What on earth? That's certainly not what I would call music.
Now that's what I call fuck.
No. It's just the same note playing over and over again in an irregular sequence.
That sounds like
Thanks.
Morse code.
Oh.
So the question is, what the hell does it say? Oh, he does not like that at all.
Mr. Graydon.
This really is priceless.
Yeah, you look like a fucking bug, bro.
After all that, the music box is broken.
Shut the hell up.
Broken? It can't be, can it? Well, obviously. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised. And the officer
you're
sent
not
to
getting
fetch it
off.
didn't drop it on the way back to the courtroom.
You're funny. You're a funny guy. You're going to fucking jail.
Well, with much regret,
Bro.
I feel the court must accept this music box offers little in the way of clues. Guys,
I'm
come on, it's
freaking
clearly a
out.
message.
are you ready to move on, counsel? No?
Come on. Yes, alright. It does sound as though it's completely broken, but is it? Could this music emanating from the music box possibly be a new clue?
Yes.
Absolutely. I believe that it could be relevant, my lord.
Good lord. But how can it be? It's an abomination, counsel. Mere noise. I fail to see how it can have any meaning whatsoever.
It does sound strange, I agree. But there's one thing bothering me. While Graydon stands there chortling victoriously, the inspector beside him has a rather telling expression on his face. It's as if Gregson recognizes the sound, as if he's familiar with it somehow.
Gregson, if you keep shutting the hell up and not telling us what's going on, I'm going to have your badge and also kill you.
and Grayson. Graydon.
Oh yeah, and Grayson, Graydon, whatever the fuck. He could literally get trampled by like, I don't know, horse-drawn carriage or some shit. Like, I truly don't care what happens to you. Gregson, though, I do kind of like, so I need him to
Gregson's
tell
fun.
the truth.
So it's like,
Gregson is a good guy. Graydon literally has no redeeming qualities at all whatsoever. Like, he's
Oh,
just
yeah.
fucking wasting air at this point.
And that's making him appear extremely on edge.
If that's the stats of the defense, my Nipponese friend, answer me this.
Oh,
Just what relevance do you propose this woeful chiming has on this case? It's the defense's belief that the sound emanating from this music box is broken.
Not supposed to be music. It's broken.
Just because this is a music box, it doesn't necessarily mean the sounds we're hearing are music. Oh no!
I want you to like that, bitch boy. Shut the fuck up.
Look at that. The smile vanished from Graydon's lips as soon as I said it.
It's gonna rip your lips off.
I'm on the right lines here. I must be.
Haha, hee hee, hoo hoo. Making deductions based on how people react to what you say. You're acting just like Hurley, Runo.
Objection!
What are you gonna say now?
Objection, that's offensive.
The sounds we're hearing aren't necessarily music. Well, now that you've told us what they're not. I'm sure the court would like to hear what they are. Do enlighten us, my Nepalese friend.
Does anyone here know Morse
Well-
code?
There is the old lady on the jurors bench.
You're right! Oh my god.
Surely you have an idea in mind, because if not... And actually, Graydon also works at the communications office. They both do.
Oh, you're fucking right. But we know that one of them isn't gonna say anything. And also, I bet you that old bitch on the fucking court jury is gonna be like, I don't know what you're talking about. We're gonna be like, yes, you fucking do.
I want to suck him off, so I can't. It'll be the death of
Literally,
your ill-informed
Graydon's my
argument.
thief.
Exactly. You lost.
Shut up,
The
Egg.
music box is clearly broken. Refusing to accept that as fact is pure foolishness. They've got me. I don't know what the answer is. Yet.
He turned over so slow.
I don't know.
Reno, why do you look like that? I've just examined the music box very thoroughly.
Where is Sholmes at? He hasn't been here at all.
He's been written out of the game. No one fucking likes him anymore.
And if I'm fairly certain it's not broken at all.
Really?
Really, the way it's been made, it can only produce a single note anyway.
Thank you, Iris. You're fucked, Graydon.
Excuse me?
You know what that translates to? You're going to jail.
Well, the music box isn't broken. You just see Graydon on the stand. What are you talking about? It is music. He just starts breakdancing to this.
You probably
must-
would.
It must mean that the sounds it's producing have some significance that isn't musical.
Oh, revelation time.
Could it be? Is that what these sounds are?
Is that what sounds are?
Something's just struck me, Runo. I feel like recently, in the past few hours even, I've heard another sound very much like this one the music box makes.
Yes, it's a familiar sound.
Actually, Iris, I was just thinking exactly the same thing. I'm going to have to press the defense for an answer. If your assertion is that the sound produced by this music box is not in fact music at all, then what the devil is it, counsel?
All the evidence we've seen so far, all the testimony we've heard, it's all pointing to one single answer now.
The prosecution demands that my learned Nepalese friend presents proof now. Tangible proof of this latest wild speculation.
Alright then. This could be the best chance I'm going to get to fight back in this trial. And if I'm right, it's going to join all the dots together.
The evidence that explains the true nature of the sounds on this music box disc is... Case notes. Autopsy report. Floor plan. Photograph. Stereoscope. Shows his pouch. Bullet. Classified secrets may have been leaked. I can't read the rest of that.
Overseas from...
Ministry of Justice. That sounds pretty suspect.
Oh.
can't find any. Yes, you fucking can.
That's right there, you dumbass.
There's a sensational story lower down the front of the page. Fuck, well, you know, look at that. Isn't that crazy? Ministry Mole. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry Justice.
Because, I mean, if it's Morse code, and Morse code is the big method of communication right now.
Yeah, that's exactly how you'd leak something like that.
For a 10-year-old, Iris certainly has her finger on the pulse of world news.
It's about secret communications between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently, they're being intercepted by hostile nations.
Communications are being intercepted. But how would somebody be doing that?
That's the question, isn't it? I've come up with 3 different possible methods so far. Are you looking for a new career, Runo?
Yeah. No, of course not. I wonder. Perhaps this is what Lord Strongheart was talking about yesterday.
Yes, it could be, and it could explain why he has Grexy running from pillar to post at the moment.
The details
Government
of today's
secrets.
paper have been
This case just fucking
updated.
ramped up big.
I know.
Take that!
Today's paper, Council. Because keep in mind, this is like, I don't know if this is like right before World War I think. So like tensions are pretty high.
Shit.
The headline is Pawnbroker perishes in pick purse plunder. Hardly supportive of your cause. No, my lord. I was hoping you'd look a little further down the page. Further down. Ministry Mole. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Yes, this is a very serious matter being investigated at the highest level, I understand. I have heard that international transmissions along supposedly secure lines are somehow being intercepted and leaked to various other countries. And presumably, those transmissions are in the form of wired telegrams. Of course. Juror number 5, your input, please.
No. Stop. Oh, me, sir. Whatever is the matter?
You told the court before that you worked at the same communication station as Mr. Graydon, did you not?
Yes, that's correct.
And the particular station where you work deals with government communications and newspaper reports.
Oh, yes, we are not your run-of-the-mill communication station after all. Our work is extremely important.
And Graydon works there.
Yeah, you want to tell us about that?
Then tell me, is this not a very familiar sound?
You don't mean to say. Is it?
That's right, madam. It bears more than a passing resemblance to the sound made by your telegraph machine as you tap it. I believe it's called Morse code.
But I don't believe it.
Now correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to leaking telegrams from government departments, there could be nobody more perfectly placed than a highly skilled communications officer. Are you suggesting that the music box disc contains stolen government secrets in Morse code?
That's so crazy.
Looks like he moved to the
Everyone
middle.
moved over. Yeah, what the fuck?
Order, please everyone, order. But this is high treason, council, deserving of capital punishment.
Yeah, you're getting
Too
stoned.
much new vocabulary. What is treason and what is capital punishment? The sorts of words I'd half expecting to know. For our sovereign government's confidential information, hostile nations would surely pay almost any price. Yes, and on that night 2 months ago, that was the very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus. But in the end, McGilded perished, and the all-important disc lay unclaimed in the pawnbrokery. My word! In which case, whoever stole that information in the first place must surely have been beside himself with worry. Because if the disc were to be discovered before it found its way out of the country, it would reveal an act of high treason punishable by death. So the culprit had no choice but to retrieve it, and in order to do that, he would have had to gain entry into the pawnbrokery illegally in the middle of the night. Because the article left behind by Mr. McGilded would incriminate him too much if he got it into the wrong hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Graydon? You think I've been stealing government secrets? Preposterous! Absolutely preposterous! So in response to the defense's accusation, you claim complete innocence, do you? Well, of course I do. I've had to stand here in silence while that pretentious foreign lawyer has been prattling away.
Objection!
Then by all means, counter their charges, sir. The prosecution demands the witness testifies in response to the accusations brought by the defense.
Delighted, I'm sure.
The witness was reminded that the crime under scrutiny in this trial is murder of the pawnbroker, Mr. Winterbank. That being a most flagitious offense for which the law in this land sanctions a capital
Flagitus.
punishment.
Flatussy.
This, well, the heinous act of high treason is no less a serious crime. I urge you to bear that in mind as you testify, Mr. Graydon.
So you want me to lie?
I don't even think you should get to testify. I think you should just get the fuck out of here.
So then, let us proceed. You met...
Hold it!
You two?
What?
What are you doing back here? You gotta let's have a rabbit and pork in here, Governor. We got things to say. I beg your pardon? Who do you think you are? Name's Ash Skokin. Occupation is professional baddie. The name's Ryunosuke. Well, we ain't baddies enough to set out of motherland. That's right. We're what they call the Three Skokin Brothers. I'm gonna kick your ass.
I love that they keep including him.
Bad timing, fellas. Very bad timing.
Tee. And you
Oh,
could be our
boy.
fourth brother.
Graydon's counter. Let's we'll have to
Shut
figure out what
up.
Graydon's counter is in the next episode. Damn. This case has taken a drastic turn. Now we're dealing with
I know.
freaking government
Could you
secrets and
imagine-
leaking and treason.
Could you imagine being in this courtroom and like thinking that it was just like a run-of-the-mill trial, and then like having everyone go like, "Oh yeah, this might be like literal high treason," and then being
Oh
like,
yeah,
"Whoa."
that's freaking wild. Like that is actually insane. I'm super
know.
excited because like I barely remember any of this.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is super high stakes.
Oh boy. So I don't know if the next episode or it might be 2 episodes until this case is finished. Because I think this is the
shit.
climax probably.
Holy
But yeah, I guess we'll have to see what
fuck.
happens in the next episode. So, as always, if you all enjoyed and want to keep the series going and show it some love and support, you know what to do. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you all in the next episode.
episode.